And now we get to Five Nights at Freddy's 4, what I previously considered to be my least favorite game in the franchise. Then I said it was 3, and now I'm saying it's 4 again, but I'm not too sure. Going back and replaying this game, it's a lot cooler than I remembered it being. So this time you play as a child who is 5 days away from what you later learn is his birthday party, and this child is having reoccurring nightmares of all the animatronics at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and you learn that his brother loves to torment him about his fear of these animatronics. Another fun fact about the existence of this game, Scott Cawthon was dissatisfied with the ending of FNAF 3, so he decided to make FNAF 4 just to expand upon it a little bit. This was intended to be the final game of the series, but as we later learned, it wasn't. So you play as a child, and this takes place entirely within your bedroom. You have a bed, a closet which you can shine a flashlight at and close, and then finally you have a left door and a right door. Once you get to the door, you're supposed to listen out for breathing. If you hear breathing, you're supposed to close the door and hold it shut. If you don't hear breathing, you're supposed to shine the flashlight just to be safe. And this is a really, really interesting premise because you're playing as a child going door to door in his bedroom using the flashlight to fend off any animatronics or any threats that might be in your room. So this game has Bonnie, Chica, Freddy, and Foxy, all of the Nightmare variations. So they're called Nightmare Bonnie, Nightmare Chica, etc. And Freddy appears on your bed behind you. You can see the Freddy plushie there, which signifies that that's his location. From time to time, the Freddles will accumulate on your bed, up to 3 at once. Bonnie approaches from the left hallway, and Chica will approach from the right hallway. And you basically just manage all 3 of them until 6 a.m. comes. Now, you do have to listen in this game. This game is more or less audio-based. Once you finish a night, you unlock a brand new minigame which further progresses the story, such as your older brother hiding from you and you having to find out where he is. You also see Mangle right here. You also see this little Fredbear plushie. Anyway, you also have the Fun with Plush Trap minigames. After each night, you have one opportunity to play this minigame, and your goal is to shine a flashlight at Plush Trap and to stop him on the X. You have to listen out for his location and then press the flashlight. If you successfully complete this minigame, you get to skip 2 hours of the next night. But you'll only get one opportunity. Now, if you go to the door and you shine your light while an animatronic is there, obviously the result isn't that great, so you really have to listen out for it. Sometimes animatronics will breathe almost immediately, and sometimes you might have to wait 2 or 3 seconds for them to begin breathing, but this is basically what you do. You stay active, listen for breathing, no breathing, shine the flashlight, go to the left, do the same thing. I followed a pattern where I would go left door, bed, bed, etc. So you go to the bed, make sure the Freddles are cleared off. If the Freddles accumulate, then that'll spawn Nightmare Freddy, and then he'll come and he'll attack you as well. As I said, Chica's in the right, Bonnie's in the left, kind of like FNAF 1. Also, I believe Night 2, maybe 3, introduces Nightmare Foxy. Now, Foxy is definitely the outlier of this game. Foxy is problematic. Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy are quite easy to manage on their own, but it's really Foxy that's going to sort of throw revenge into your plans, per se. So there's Foxy in the right hallway. You'll hear Foxy running from left to right the entire time, and basically you're supposed to follow where his footsteps are, the left and right hallway. Sometimes you have to break your pattern, but Foxy, if you go into the opposite hallway that he's in, he's going to enter your closet. He stays there for the rest of the night. And you see sometimes you have to look behind you just to clear the bed away, shining the flashlight on them. So there's rules in this game. You have to walk up to the door and then listen. If nobody's there, then you shine the flashlight. If they are there, you hear them breathing, close the door and hold it until you hear their footsteps indicating that they walked away. For Foxy, you have to shine the light first, then close the doors, and then you have to hold the door, and Foxy will regress to certain stages. So when you see his plushie in the closet, that means he is in his first stage. Whenever he's standing up, he's in his second stage, crouching forward, his third stage, and when you see his face out of the closet, that's his last stage, meaning Foxy is attacking relatively soon, so you've got to be mindful of Foxy. As I said, though, Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica are quite easy to manage. It's Foxy that really makes this complicated. So there you go, warding off Chica in the right hallway, and there we go, it's 6 a.m. So in this game, if an animatronic is at your door and you immediately turn away, they'll be in your room. Also, you have to shine the light first. If you immediately close the door and then shine the light, you'll get attacked because this game has a mechanic where it spawns the animatronic if you immediately close the door, even if they're not at the door. Once again, the minigame after the end of the night advances the story, where you learn about the plush trap and exactly what it is. And they always count down like 4 days until the party, 3 days until the party, as soon as you progress through the nights. Now, one thing I did notice about FNAF 4, this game wasn't very difficult. I finished nights 1, 2, 3 on my first try. I finished night 4 on my second attempt. The first time I died to Bonnie because I was rushing because Freddy and Foxy were getting really close to attacking. See, there's his brother in the Foxy mask just kind of tormenting him. It's implied that he may have taken it off the plushie, but it's kind of hard to tell. And then you get to play the plush trap minigame. The timing does get a lot more strict on the the plush trap game, so it becomes more difficult to complete. But here we go. I think this is night 3. Maybe it's night 4. But the animatronics become more aggressive on the later nights, similar to the earlier FNAF games. But as I said, they're not very difficult to manage. For night 3 and 4, you just play it straight, stay active as much as you can, just keep moving, don't stall too much. And Foxy, when he goes in, that's when it becomes a little complicated. There's Chica and Foxy, so I can get them both at the same time. If you see Foxy in the hallway, that just means that you stunted his progress temporarily, so you successfully kind of warded him off for now. But I've noticed he will eventually get in there. And you'll see the door kind of sliding closed when Foxy's in your closet. And one thing I noticed, if you're at the bed and Foxy makes it to your room, you don't hear him or see him entering. So you have to listen for the footsteps. See, there's his face, which means he's close to attacking. If you don't hear Foxy running anymore, he's in your closet. So you kind of have to listen out for this stuff too. But night 3 completed with little to no issue. And as I said, I finished night 4 on my second attempt. So this game isn't very difficult. You just have to have pretty good headphones. Night 5, however, is a little bit different. Foxy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy are gone, and they are instead replaced with Nightmare Fredbear, who appears to be Golden Freddy, but with a purple top hat and bow tie. Fredbear in this game, in my opinion, was really easy to deal with. He's very simple. He will run from the left and right, kind of like Foxy. Then he'll show up at your left and right hallway. You have to shine the light first, then close the door. So Fredbear forces you to change the rules. Shine first, then close the door. Don't shine the light on him for too long because the result is not going to be very good if you do that. If he laughs, that means that he's in your room, either in the closet or on the bed. However, there's a 10% chance of Fredbear doing a fake laugh, which means he laughs but he's not actually in your room. He's in one of the hallways. This is just designed to kind of distract you. Usually you'll hear the laugh and then footsteps, meaning it's fake, but if it's just the laugh on its own, that usually means he's in your room. So just be mindful of that. So for Fredbear, shine the light, close the door as soon as you see him. Fredbear was really easy to deal with. I finished night 5 on my first attempt. Fredbear was no issue whatsoever. He's basically a combination of all 4 animatronics put together, except he's only allowed to do 1 at a time instead of having all 4 at once. So Fredbear was really easy to deal with. Once you complete night 5, you see the ending of this game, and you see his older brother, and his friends, I guess, tormenting and probably even bullying this child. And then they put him into the mouth of Fredbear, and wouldn't you know it, the Fredbear mouth comes down onto his head. It's heavily implied, or maybe just it's a fact at this point. It's been a while since I've thought about all this FNAF lore. That might be the purple guy's son. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. Once you complete night 5, you unlock the 6th night and an extras menu. And I decided to go ahead and do the 6th night, which I usually don't do because I just do nights 1 through 5 and call it a day because I can't be bothered to do the rest. Night 6 is everybody all together, but not at the same time. From 12 a.m. to 4 a.m., it's Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, the usual suspects. They are more aggressive on this night than the previous nights, but it's basically just like night 4. They're not that aggressive. Night 6 took me, I believe, 4 attempts. The first time I died to Bonnie. The second time I believe was like Foxy. But this was my 4th attempt. The 3rd time I actually died to Fredbear. Fredbear shows up at 4 a.m. And this night is really interesting. And then you unlock night 7 after this, which replaces Fredbear with a new character named Nightmare, who's basically just Fredbear. But he is a lot stricter in terms of how fast you are able to shine the flashlight on him. So there's Foxy in the closet. See, it's 2 a.m. now. And the flashing light just means that your danger indicators are going off. That could mean Freddy's close, Bonnie or Chica at your door. As you see here, Freddy was close to coming in. Chica was at my door. Of course, Foxy's in his late stages in the closet. So it's pretty chaotic at 3 a.m. However, I know that Fredbear is going to be arriving shortly. But I got to keep the pace up, got to remain active, go to the closet, go to the doors, go to the bed, just keep it up, keep moving as much as you can. I go to the bed, 4 a.m., Freddles disappear. Everybody is now gone. It's just Fredbear now. Fredbear replaces everybody. And this is basically just night 5 again, just with Fredbear this time. And Fredbear, as I said, is easy to deal with. You just shine the light, close the door, that's about it. Fredbear is just easy. Like, I only got killed by Fredbear once, and it was just because I didn't expect him to be in the hallway, because he did a fake laugh. But as I said, Fredbear, nights 5, 6, only killed me once. 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. on night 6 is easier than the beginning of the night. And as I said, go to the hallways. If you hear him running left and right, check the hallways. If he laughs, check your closet or your bed. But if he laughs with footsteps, he's in the hallway. So there's night 6 complete, which I usually don't do in the FNAF games, but in FNAF 4, it wasn't that bad. And then you unlock this ending where you see all the plushies talking to the child, saying stuff like, "We can put you back together," and all that stuff. It's actually a pretty cool ending. Once you finish night 7, which is called Nightmare Mode, you get like the box ending that Scott Cawthon is never going to reveal what's inside of it. But like, whatever. I didn't do Nightmare Mode because I can't be bothered. I did nights 1 through 6, and I'm fine with that. But once you complete night 5, you do get a star in the extras menu. Once you finish night 6, you get a second star, and then you unlock some extra stuff in the extras menu. So you can view all the animatronics. There's really cool behind-the-scenes stuff of the making of Foxy and Fredbear's models. These are really cool. I like seeing behind-the-scenes stuff a lot. I think it's really interesting to see how Fredbear and Foxy were molded. And then you have jump scares. You can replay the plush trap minigame, and then you can play night 7, which is Nightmare Mode. Overall, FNAF 4 is probably the easiest of the original 4 games, but I think it's pretty cool, and it still holds up. I think it's one of the better games in the franchise, but it's still my least favorite of the original 4. I'm thinking this is a 7 out of 10.